Hello and welcome to Catalyst Conversations. Today I'm excited to be joined by Australia's #1 great place to work and certainly one of our favourite clients, Interactive, Australia's largest privately owned technology services provider. And today from Interactive we're joined by the Director of People and Culture, Merylee Crockett. Hello Merylee and welcome, and thanks for taking some time to share some insights with us today.
Hey Ben, thanks for having us here. I'm really excited to be talking to you today.
We're look, I think before we get into it, congratulations. #1 great place to work. What a result! How are you and the team feeling?
As you can imagine, we're still pretty excited. It was a terrific moment when we realised that we'd landed as Australia's #1 best place to work. So we're both, I guess, excited and humbled.
One of the things that we often hear from a lot of companies is that everyone's so busy these days. Taking time to celebrate and acknowledge some of the wins along the way is so crucial. As a director of people and culture, what's your view on sort of authentic celebration versus, let's say, chest beating, when it comes to some of these greater accolades?
Yeah. Look, as an organisation, Ben, you know us quite well. We're historically very understated. We're not really the chest beating time, but there are moments where it's appropriate to pause and celebrate, and we felt this was one of those. So whilst initially we were very humbled to be added to the list, there's no doubt we took the morning on the Wednesday morning when it was announced in the Fin Review to certainly celebrate with a bit of style. And we were, very mindful of the fact that some of our states around Australia were in lockdown, and so they couldn't necessarily come to the office to be part of the celebration. So there was a fine balancing act between giving a sense of celebration that on video we could have everyone around the company and around the country celebrate, but at the same time to be really both humbled and pleased to be included.
Great, and certainly very motivational. And from a motivating perspective, what spurred you on to enter and submit Great Place to Work in the first place?
Look, we've known, always felt for a while that we had a great place to work. Internally, there's an immense amount of enthusiasm about the culture, about the people. And we did feel that our people really deserved for that to be acknowledged externally, and for it not to be something that we're aware of. We're certainly not a household name, so it can be difficult sometimes to get our story out there in the market. But once people hear about us, they're extremely surprised about, the size of the organisation, the services we offer, the way we go about it, the culture that we have. So it was in part about giving our people, a sense of pride to be recognised and to be noticed. And the other part was really around where we're operating in an extremely competitive talent market in the IT sector. As I said, we're not a household name. And it was a strategy for us to be much more broadly known in the talent market.
Yeah, right. So in terms of strengthening EVP, building reputation, etc., and just general awareness.
Totally.
And you've got a very impressive business. You've got a complex business. In terms of diversity and breadth. Did you engage the business with the submission?
Yeah, we absolutely did. We obviously had a core team, which was primarily the people and culture team that ran the event and our marketing team. But we had two key groups that worked on the submission with us. One we call our cultural ambassadors, and they engaged on a number of occasions in workshops, really sharing the stories about what it means for them to be a great place to work, and what are some of the rituals and some of the experiences and some of the stories that we should tell that occur across the organisation. And then we had another group who we called our reviewers, who really critiqued our submission, if you like. And it's fair to say, in true Interactive style, one of our values is to speak your mind, and they were brutally honest in giving their feedback around our application, and we were really grateful because I think it made it better. We had a real mix of people from across the business, across different departments, across length of service with us. across functions, across age groups. So it was a real team effort.
Wow, what a breadth! I guess that's diversity in action right there, right?
Absolutely.
Which is brilliant. So look, in a nutshell, why did you win?
I guess that's the $1,000,000 question, isn't it, Ben? But I think the most obvious answer to that is we're a very purpose-led organisation. You know only too well that the power of having a very clearly articulated purpose or reason for existence and how that unites the team. And I think in particular our purpose, which is to keep technology human, not only guides the decisions that we make, which has been really important during tougher times as well as in good times, but it's also characterises who we are and the way that we operate, and is a mantra that we try and live our life by. And I think that is absolutely the key thing, is to make sure that those human characteristics about Interactive is what really sets us apart, and encouraging our leaders and our staff to really live by that purpose. And I think when you do that, and it then integrates in the way that you operate, whether it's the decisions you make or the people practices or the way you approach a customer or the way you think about designing your products and services, if you're doing it within that context, it becomes a very unified and consistent story, and helps people get a real sense of meaning that what they're doing at work really makes a big difference. And I think when that infiltrates your organisation, you know, some kind of magic exists.
Really, great place to work, winning #1, huge accolade. What's your next mission?
Look, I think it's sustaining it. You know, we've been really proud about achieving and being recognised as a great place to work, and that, you know, needs to be our priority for that to continue, particularly as we grow. But beyond that, the thing I'm most excited about and really proud about is our Blueprint for Better strategy, which is effectively the way we approach sustainability. And I know some of your team are familiar with this and have worked with us on some of the branding around our Blueprint for Better, but it really starts to look at how do we take our impact beyond our own workplace, and how do we help support our customers in achieving their sustainability strategy. And for us, sustainability is much more than the environment. You know, we have announced this year that we signed up to RE100, which will see us move to full renewable power by 2025, which is a huge commitment for a business of our kind and size, and the amount of power we draw as a data center provider. But equally, we know therefore that we can have a big impact on helping enable our customers achieve their sustainability strategy, in us looking at how we impact the communities that we work in, and how we take our skills and our experiences and provide support to the communities we impact. But ultimately, it all starts with making sure that we operate as a business in a very sustainable way, and we ensure that the performance and the well-being and the inclusiveness with which we operate as a business, and the financial success we have, is all sustainable.
You've clearly got a progressive culture, given everything you've achieved and what you're working towards, particularly from a CSR perspective as well. But let's talk commercials for a minute. Business results. What is it about your culture? What is the core strength of your culture that enables you to be the biggest and be #1?
Well, Ben, I think it starts with our people having a real belief in what they do. And that comes, I think, from the level of trust that we have with both our people and our customers. And that trust really comes from many areas, but in particular, it starts with transparency. And we're very transparent in the way that we operate. The exec team is very visible, very open, very available. And, you know, we're quite happy to call out mistakes when we make them and learn from them, and equally important to celebrate our successes. And we've worked really hard over the last few years to introduce vulnerability as a quality that we all live by, and to make sure that we have a workplace that's psychologically safe, that people feel they can say whatever they think is appropriate to say, and that people can speak up based on what they believe in. And all of those qualities, as being inherent in the culture, just really, I think, empowers and enables people to be able to focus on delivering great value to customers. And when you service your customers extremely well, when you have a very engaged workforce, the results follow.
As a director of people and culture, you've clearly been at the forefront and the center of everything that's been going on. How have your people been impacted? Tell us a little bit about some of the lessons that you've learned through the last few months.
Yeah, it's not been an easy time. It's definitely been, roller coaster is the right word. And I think a crisis of any kind really demonstrates who you are, what your character's like, as both as individuals and as an organisation. And it's been a real moment for us to truly be human in the way that we've chosen to operate. And if there's one thing that we've probably learned the most, it's really the power of connecting and particularly asking people, are you okay? And, someone that can be absolutely okay and functioning well today might, it might get the best of them tomorrow. So we rang all of our customers and we asked our customers how they were, not just how their business was going, but how they were, how their families were. We rang the majority of our key suppliers as well and asked them the same thing, and in particular asked how we could help their business. Particularly when you think about some of the smaller suppliers to organisations, whether it's catering organisations that were doing it really tough. And we regularly connect with our people. On the way in this morning, I must have made a dozen phone calls on the way in, just checking in to see how people are okay, whether people are okay. And I've heard some terrible stories, as we've all heard during this time, around staff members' kids and family members being impacted quite significantly. And for us, it was really a case of how do we do our part? And we had instances where we were able to hire family members. We made a real commitment that we kept hiring throughout this whole phase, and we said that we would hire friends and family first. So we were fortunate enough to hire many family members and contacts. We opened up all of our learning systems to the friends and family of staff because we knew many people needed to retrain, and if we were able to provide certification support in doing that, we were happy to do that. We recreated as best we could the experience in the office virtually at home, and I don't think that's unique. I think we've all attempted to do that, and we've just shown how successfully you can transition to working from home. But as we go into this, what we're calling, I guess, that second lockdown, particularly for Melbourne, I think our heart goes out to people that are living alone, to people that have got children that are now returning to homeschooling. And, we put on just the other day a magic show and a dance party for the kids of Interactive who were either on school holidays, who were now schooling from home or couldn't go to preschool. And it was just an absolute delight. And I think those small moments and celebrating those are the things that really remind us what's important.
Wow. So I mean, you're clearly living purpose. When you talk about everything there, there's the real human, care aspect coming through. Very powerful. Now, look, we're out of time, but there is one question that I need to ask everyone on Catalyst Conversations, and that is, if you could travel back in time and visit yourself on day one of this job, what advice would you give yourself?
I'd love to travel back in time, Ben. Been here for 10 years now, so there'll be a lot of great moments I'd relive over those 10 years. But jokes aside, I think I would say that the path will be challenging. There'll be some highs and lows. It won't be an easy path, but it's going to be incredibly worth it and extremely rewarding along the way. And I think I would say pause often to enjoy those moments of celebration. Make sure you always create time for the people because they make all the difference in this journey. And I'd remind myself that we're really privileged to be working in an organisation that is so purpose-led, where where you can align your own personal values with the purpose and intent of the organisation. So sit back, hang on, and enjoy the ride, but have fun along the way.
Great insights there. And Merylee, it's been an absolute pleasure to listen and learn from you today. And we're initially excited about our continued partnership and the next chapter. Thank you for taking the time. We wish you and the team all the best, and hopefully see you soon.
Thanks, Ben. Really appreciate talking to you.